When we were holding the 22 public meetings that we had, talking to everybody, property owners have just been burdened with debt. I mean, it's everything that county government, or it seems like any government wants to do, always ends up on the back of the property owners. And so they understood why we had to have the jail, and of course they passed it and agreed to fund it on their property taxes, but they asked us time and time again, was there not any other way? Why not sales tax? Because a lot of people believe this is a fairer tax because it's more just everybody pays it. And so, we promised them. We said, well, let us look at it. We don't have that authority, and that we will go to the legislature and see what we can do. And, over a period of about 2 years, it didn't happen overnight, we had thought about it. Commissioner Evans went to the Farm Bureau State Convention and actually made the resolution from the floor. And I was so proud of Danny. He did such a great job. And the Farm Bureau supports the concept. And so it's just kind of been little building blocks along. And then we had to have one of our legislators carry the bill, and we have Representative Flynn and Senator Bob Hall, which he's a new senator. And we went to them and we said, what can we do? What is the mechanism? And so we got Jim Allison, who's our counsel in Austin, has worked with us on previous bills. And we gave them an interpretation of what we wanted, and then it went to Legislative Council. And basically the bill itself, which is SB 1158, it's put forward by Senator Bob Hall, is that the voters of Hopkins County be given the opportunity to make the choice between having an increased sales tax or the property tax. And that's basically what the bill is about. And you have to have 5% of your registered voters petition the court and say, we would like to hold the election. And then you have the election. And the election would say this much sales tax, and it could be an eighth, a fourth, a half. There's increments, and just say a half. This half-cent sales tax, if it's passed, then it would be totally dedicated to the payment of the jail bonds. Money goes into that account, can't be spent for anything else. And it's kind of like a trust. It can only go into that account. And the property tax, because of the way county government is set up opposite of city government. Our sales tax has to reduce our property tax. And that's in the tax code, chapter 26, I believe, 0.045, somewhere right through there. And so, we make it long story short, if it takes $100 to operate the county, okay, you raise $25 worth of sales tax, then you can only go for property tax of $75. So automatically, this sales tax offsets your property tax, so it would drop more than likely 7%. That's 7 cents that we've had to increase. And we've got probably 2 more cents. It went from 56 and we had authority to go to 63, and that's where it's going to go next year. So if this bill passes, now the voters have a chance. The voters could decide to hold the election, and do you want the half cent or do you want the property tax? And then they would make that decision. If they decided they wanted the sales tax, then it goes into that dedicated fund. You make your payments out of it. If there's extra money left, it just builds up. And when the notes are callable in 10 years, if there were enough money in that account, you would be able to pay your bonds off. And if we could pay off our bonds in 10 years versus 20 years, then we would save approximately $2.7 million. It is also written into the bill, and I encourage everybody, go online. I'm not telling you anything that's not there. It's SB 1158. Pull it up yourself and read it. That tax has to go away. It goes away by statute, by law. There is no way that you can hang on to that tax for anything else. And if somebody wanted to do sales tax again, then you would have to start the whole process over again, which starts with the people coming to the court asking for an election. If it were to fail, if there is enough people, because I feel like for sure you would have people for and against that, and if it were to fail, then the property tax stays where it is, which is one of the highest property taxes in this area. But that's okay, people voted it in, you know, and that's the way we had to fund the jail. So I'm excited anytime that I can work to, number one, fulfill a promise that I made to everybody. Number two, to give the voters the right to choose. And that's what this is about. That's it. Nothing happens unless the people ask for the vote. And I've been here nearly 19 years now, Don. People don't lead you wrong. We may not always agree, but hey, I work for them, and my vote should always represent what they want me to do, what the majority of them want me to do. And that's where my heart is. So yes, it's very exciting. Senator Hall is very supportive of this bill. They have, it went to Legislative Council, they kicked it back, they filed the bill got filed in the Finance Committee. We knocked some doors yesterday while we were in Austin, and you know, now we're waiting to get a hearing in Finance. When we get the hearing, if we get the hearing, this is a whole new concept to the world. I mean, this is brand new. We're thinking outside the box. I'm going to be positive we are going to get the hearing. We are going to go to Austin. The whole court will go, and maybe some more elected officials. And we'll present our challenge to the Finance Committee, and they'll either vote it up or down out of committee. And then it's got to go to the floor of the Senate. Well, then the Senate has to vote on it. And if it passes the Senate, Representative Dan Flynn is fully committed to accepting it on the House side and rolling it through. Of course, you know, we've got about 2 months left, and this stuff has to roll. So I don't know. I'm doing everything I can. Judge Newsom is knocking some doors down there today. He's also down there on Text 21, which is another very important project where we keep our transportation issues in front of the legislature, and he's working on that. And while he's there, he is having some wonderful opportunities. I'll let him share them with you, but when he told me yesterday somebody they were going to get to talk to, I was very excited because he's a perfect person. And we will, you know, take it from there. But this whole court, Judge Newsom, Commissioner Evans, Commissioner Bartley, Commissioner Odell, we've talked to a lot of people about this process. And, you know, I don't think I've had anybody in the, what I'm going to say, in the general public be opposed to it. Everybody thinks that the voter has the right to make the decision. Now, they may not agree with whether you do an additional half-cent sales tax or whether the property tax stays the same, but I don't think I've had but maybe one or two that don't think the voter deserves the right